Hey everyone, welcome to our masterclass covering SEO in 2025. Today, my guest is our SEO expert, Jack. Hey Jack, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing well. So let's talk about all the things that people can expect in changes in 2025 with SEO. I know a lot of things are happening in search, and I think you're the expert person in-house that's gonna be able to tell us more about it. I know a little bit about it, but I know you know everything that's going on right now in the SEO world, and it's pretty crazy, right?
Oh yeah, so I think the best thing to start out with is just Google's changing overall. Last year we saw the trial with Google and the Department of Justice being deemed a monopoly. So the punishment for that hasn't really taken effect. That's still set to occur this year. And it's not really clear on what's happening with that, but the word is that Google is going to be broken up internally, and the key thing is going to be Google Chrome being separated from Google. And the reason why that's important is because Chrome sends so much user metrics and user interaction within websites to Google and their ranking system, and it's done through a process called nav boost. And there are a few examples that I'd like to point out what nav boost is.
Yeah, let me know what that is.
So nav boost is, like I said, it's the process that determines ranking signals, which that could be someone searching for a search term like bridal photography or wedding photography, going to a website. If they interact with it, fill out a form, that would be a positive ranking signal and determine that it's more relevant to that search term. And then let's say you're on that website for 10 seconds and then they leave, that's a negative ranking signal, and that will show that you're less relevant to that search term.
So Google will recognize if someone just pops in and pops out, and that can affect a clientele that might be like, this isn't what I'm looking for.
Yeah, exactly. And that's kind of what that whole ranking signal is.
Okay, so Google's enacting this in this year?
Yeah, so nav boost has been a part of Google for the last couple of years. It's just recently been confirmed based on the Google leak that happened back midsummer last year.
Oh.
But it was all just kind of speculation up until then.
Secrets.
Yeah.
Well, they're utilizing all these algorithms and things that people not really necessarily know what's happening behind the space. But that seems to be something that, can really affect customers, because I know people that are like, I had a view on my page or my blog post, but how long is that blog post being actually read? And that can be a negative effect if they're just popping in and out.
Yeah, exactly. And that's why you can look at different user metrics like page scrolling, page click-through rates, and multiple other things.
Oh, okay. Google possible monopoly being broken up leads us into other things just about Google itself is the algorithm. What can you tell us is going on with the algorithm that is constantly changing from one week to the next, it seems?
Yeah, so last year we saw, I want to say 5 or 6 algorithm updates, and they all kind of reference the same thing: create helpful content, create content that's made for people with the user in mind, and not create content for search engines, meaning don't spam keywords in your blogs.
So when we're saying it, we're not just saying it because we want to say it. We're saying it because this is what Google is saying.
Yeah, exactly. And then towards the tail end of it, I want to say it was after the November update, the Google Search Liaisons came out and said that they are going to start releasing smaller, more specific algorithm updates. And we saw that in December with the release of 2. And one was kind of targeting more of that spam content that we saw in every other update from last year. And then the second one was specifically targeting backlink abuse.
Oh, okay.
And that was more along the lines of people who purchase backlinks and they're not really relevant. They're getting penalized for that, and that shows up in Google's tool called the Google Search Console as a manual action that needs to be addressed.
So people that are purchasing something for a backlink, that was being negatively found, and they're pulling those out.
Yes, and that's known as like a spam backlink at this point.
Okay, so now it's a spam backlink. So what kind of things were people buying that they could look at to know not to buy if people are buying backlinks?
Yeah, so there are multiple sources that people got it from. I've seen people buy them from Fiverr. I've seen people buy them just from emails that they get sent from spam bots. So we see them in our own emails
all the time.
And then there's also dedicated websites that kind of highlight you can buy 50,000 backlinks and grow in search rank immediately. And
does anyone ever actually think that works?
There's people that do, like some of the SEO clients that we work with even do that, and I've had to explain that to them.
And do they see results from any of that, or never?
Usually it's before they start the SEO service.
So this is always something they premeditate and get, and then they're like, well, I got this thing, and it's not doing anything. Well, obviously it's not.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
in fact, it might be harmful at this point, right?
Yeah,
So
exactly.
So if people are doing stuff like buying backlinks, and we tell them not to do that, we're telling them to make sure that the content is fresh, and that's what Google is responding to. What are some things that people can do right now to their website?
Yeah, so first you want to make sure it's easy to navigate and make it easy for people. People now, more than ever, they have a short attention span, myself included.
Yeah, it keeps getting shorter, I saw. There was like a data point saying that it's almost less than a second now.
Yeah, exactly. And you just want to be able to have a very good user interface. And there's different ways you can go about doing that. But the key thing you need to do is present information very quickly. Usually at the top of your page, have a very strong title at the top explaining what you do.
So some of the things that we tell people about navigation is not to clutter it, not to put too many menu items, because you've seen some people's menus, and they'll stuff it past like 12 items at the top, and it's just too difficult to navigate. Is that a negative thing that when it comes to user intent or user experience?
Yeah, so if people see too many options, they're not going to know what to pick. So you want to keep it simple. You should have maybe like 7 to 8 pages, maybe 10, depending on the type of business you run. But usually I recommend just having a strong homepage, maybe an about page. Some people are interested in that, but you want to have a pricing page more than anything.
Yeah.
And just to go over, because people don't really want to contact you anymore to discuss pricing or get a quote or anything like that. People want information now, not 2 days from now.
Speaking of the menu items and just how many pages you have on your website, I always reflect everything back to restaurants. So I'm a big Gordon Ramsay fan. And the one thing that he always tells people is do not put a lot of stuff on your menu and don't have too much stuff. You know, less is more. When we're looking at that, it can be the same essentially for someone's website. You know, have a dedicated About Me page, homepage, contact obviously. I've seen some of y'all don't put contact pages. But then pricing pages. I know that kind of always goes back and forth. I know we did a poll a couple of years ago where 77% of our clients do put pricing pages, but I still some people saying they get worried of that. Is that something that you think people should worry about?
No, like it's all about providing transparency, and that information actually helps you with ChatGPT and AI answers.
Oh, so yeah, it's because now it can answer on behalf of you, right?
Exactly, and we've even seen traffic from ChatGPT answer pricing whenever we're looking at Google Analytics.
So we're already kind of going in there, but is ChatGPT really going to be the game changer when it comes to search?
It's still up in the air. I think it's changing search for sure. I don't think it's going to be the next Google. It's just making search change. Like we've already seen it with Google with AI overviews, and then they have a dedicated AI with Gemini. But I don't think it's going to be the change to search that everyone is saying it is, just because it's very limited and generic.
ChatGPT is still kind of in the adolescent phase of learning what it is. You know, its content creation is pulling from some of the worst sources sometimes. Like I'm sure you all have seen this email, but I hope this email finds you well. If that's the header, then it's probably not a very good email, or ChatGPT has figured out this is what people start with. And this is where it's kind of creating content based on relatively what it's been able to extract from human conversations now. So it still has a lot of learning to do.
Yeah, like someone explained it to me really great, and I love this example. ChatGPT is the medium. It's 5 out of 10. It's average material. It needs to be customized. It needs to be edited, no matter it's a blog or it's an email. It will take the most generic response given to your query, and that's what it is. It's just average. It's not good. It's not bad.
Yeah, it's really mediocre.
Yeah, it's the equivalent of you getting a sales email and saying, I'm just following up. I'm just checking in.
No, and that's a great point, because I feel like some people are like, okay, this is all I need. This is good enough. But I really think it needs an extra set of curation afterwards. You know, like yes, I want this to fit my tone of voice. I have this previous text. Please make it more refined. Take out the typos. It's great for stuff like that. It's really good at like finding tone of voice and stuff like that. But then you have to also watch out for when it goes overboard, because sometimes it's like I'll say, oh, do this in this, jovial response, and all of a sudden it starts talking like, hey man, what's going on? I'm like, no, back down a little bit.
Yeah.
Like you have to kind of like keep course correcting it. You're the navigator, and at that point, trying to direct it where it goes.
Yeah, exactly. And this has been a tip I've told people, but create like say you're creating a blog, create one paragraph at a time.
Oh, that's a great piece of advice, because I think some people are like, just write the whole blog.
Yeah, and then like I've even done that where I'm just generate an entire blog and I'll want one sentence revised, and you can use the highlight tool in ChatGPT.
Oh.
And then it will just change the entire blog, even though you highlighted the text and specified only that text needs to be changed.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's rather annoying and waste time. So I've gotten into the habit of just creating one paragraph at a time.
I really like that. I'm going to keep that one for myself. I think that's a really good piece of tips for people.
And then like following through with that, if I don't know what the next section to be about, I'll ask what would be logical, and then it will give me like 2 or 3 different options.
Oh, that's amazing. Let's talk about user intent. Some people don't know what that is. So let's talk about what that is.
Yeah, so it kind of goes back to what I was talking about with NavBoost, is user intent is the reason why someone is searching for a search term. So let's say I'm looking for a headshot photographer in my area using the headshot photographers near me. Obviously, the search intent was me looking for a session to book a headshot. I'm not necessarily looking for a blog about that or what to wear. It's all about why the person is searching for what they're searching for. Okay,
so it really comes down to like, if I'm looking for a hairdresser or someone to style my hair, which I don't have much of anymore, but if I was doing that, it looks based on that and the relevancy of it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and NavBoost kind of determines those ranking signals based on the user intent. And like we mentioned bounce rate earlier, that's one of the strongest ranking signals right now. How long does someone stay on the page?
So the best performing ones will get probably the higher
engagement times, yeah.
Okay, so engagement is a really big piece of this.
Yeah, so you want really good, well-written content, and that's why like I wanted to mention the average content for ChatGPT is you need to make better content if that's the new average.
So keeping people locked in on the website, which I've talked about this for people on social media, it's like you want to take people from your social media channels, because the easiest thing they can do is scroll to the next thing. The idea is getting them from there to the website. And the website is, the funnel or the trap or whatever you want to call it, where now they got to be able to engage with the content that you're putting out. Some of the content there needs to be, like you said, needs to be really engaging. So you need to have higher quality photos, better, more data and information, pricing, stuff like that is what's going to keep people on the page. Now, are there tricks that people try to utilize? I know we've talked about, old black hat stuff where, keyword stuffing like that was on the page, but now when we're looking at, like, what if someone just leaves the browser open? Does that affect anything?
Yeah, so that can also play into user intent as well to a certain degree, but that's more on the theoretical side, not necessarily a NavBoost thing. So for example, let's say you're at a checkout screen and you're leaving it open for 8 minutes, and that signals that you probably just went downstairs to get your wallet and then you got distracted.
Yeah.
But stuff that people can do when creating content is, I see it more and more that people just rehash the same stuff that's been talked about for the last 10 years. Like, what's the best way to dress for a photography session?
Yeah.
You need, that's been talked about. You can write about that and showcase your own personal experiences. But the best thing to do is just provide new information that isn't talked about.
So really stepping outside of what the norms are now. Because everyone can write about like the best things to wear for a session. What are you doing to be different? And that's one thing that I talk about with people on our lives is, how can you stand out within your crowd? Like if you're in a more rural area, are you taking photos that are in a rural scape, or are you taking them to a city to change it up? What are you doing to amplify that? So even with content, they need to be able to explore something that's radically different to make them stand out in their said location.
Yeah, exactly. And even if they're doing like similar content, like one topic I've been helping with our SEO Go Plus people is how can you incorporate new photography trends for 2025 into your business, and what's your take on them? Do you think they're good trends? Do you think they're bad? What is your opinion? You're the photography expert. It's time for you to show it.
Right. This is where they get to show off their professionalism, right? So
Yeah.
they get to show their expertise and why, like, this trend is so good or this trend is bad. You get to be the expert.
Exactly. And then another thing I see all the time is people don't use proper font structuring. So I'm talking like your titles being H1 fonts, and within our website builder, you can see that within the text editor blocks, and people just use H1 fonts for paragraphs text, or you'll see an entire website this long just with title blocks. And I know we talked about this before, but you want proper font structuring with your H1 fonts being titles, H2 fonts being subheadings, and anything lower than that being paragraph text, unless you have like a subsection within the H2 font subheading. People just overthink it so much. But
Yeah, some people think H1 equals big.
Yeah.
So they utilize that, and then you can make your website a little too cluttered. And luckily, with the PhotoBiz website builder, you can change the size of your fonts. You can just slide it, and especially in those blocks, you can do it by block. You can change the paragraph to be as large as the as the H1 if you wanted to.
most people don't really realize that, but it's all about page structure. It's like counting to 1, 2, 3. You want your largest text to be 1, then second largest 2, 3, then paragraph.
Yeah, don't go much further than that. You don't need that many font sizes. I don't need to be doing this. Okay, like it gets really hard out there sometimes. I'm getting older, so I want, I don't need it too big either. I don't need to be going like that either. But like, when it comes to website design, we want to make sure that the hierarchy is respected, because this is how Google says H1 equals what this is about.
Yeah, exactly. And it also really helps with user intent, because if you're like me, I'm one of those people that don't want to sit for 5 minutes reading through an article.
Yeah.
I'll just skim through, and then I'll just look at the key points and the subheadings, and then I get a rough understanding.
Yeah.
And also using bullet points helps as well. Just indicate a couple key points within the subsection for bullet points. And that's helped us a lot out in the blogs we've been creating on the Growth Hub.
Yeah, we've been creating a lot of great content. If you haven't seen it, go to our blog.photobiz.com. There's an incredible lot of resources. Jack's been helping us out in the last year, getting more of that stuff out there for SEO. So it's really, finger on the pulse. We're getting new stuff daily. He's finding out, and he's making sure that it is allocated to us, and we're able to update you guys. So definitely check it out. Subscribe to that whenever you can, or open your emails and read it then, because we'll send them in our monthly and educational emails. So check it out. There's a great response from that. So yeah, I agree. Like, we're putting out so much stuff about SEO now than we ever have before, because thanks to you, you're able to see that on the time when it comes out, because you're telling me like, oh, this thing changed today. I'm like, last week you said it changed. Like, yeah, they went back.
Yeah, Google likes to do that.
Yeah, especially recently, the last few years. They're in a more competitive nature than they've ever had to be.
Yeah, and that's the thing that's worrying them. So they're dealing with ChatGPT and the Department of Justice thing.
Yeah.
But right now, it's all political.
Yeah.
So
they're
we're
getting
kinda in limbo at the moment. We don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah, you never know if they're going to completely break apart, or, even in the competitive stance, they're dealing with social media search engines now that are becoming more prevalent,
Yeah, I've heard TikTok is actually a really strong competitor now.
It's one of the reasons that keeps Google on their feet from all the information I've learned. It's like why they've had to make such big changes. Because think about it, Google really hasn't made a lot of big changes since '99, right? Since it existed. It became a search engine, and it's what it was. It got comfortable, became a huge corporation, and of course it made many applications and sorts and things like that. But who's been their big competitor? Bing.
Like on average, they're about 2% of all search.
Right. So now they have a true competitor in this space, and that scares them. And I know even TikTok's going through its own political litigations and stuff like that. If it's going to exist by the time this masterclass comes out, we don't know. We don't know. But it's something that has radically changed how people adopt this technology for search. Like, people are finding like how to do a recipe through that, or how to dress for an event. Versus looking through Google. than they used to.
Yeah, and that's the reason why creating new, fresh content is so important, and not to rehash the same old content that's been talked about for the last 10 years.
What are some good ways people can see if the results that they're implementing on their website's good? Are there any metrics that they can look at?
Yeah, so my favorite metric to look at is within Google Analytics. You can see the average session duration, but you can also break that up to see each individual session duration per person. And it's very helpful because you can break it down to what page they landed on and how long they stayed on that page. But you can also look at page scrolls, you can look at clicks, you can look at conversions and various other interactions with the page, and you can even set up Google Analytics to track scroll percentage. So let's say they only scrolled about 60% of the page and then stopped. What did they do when they did that? Did they click away? Did they submit a form? Did they click a button? That's about at that level. Then that tells you a lot of information that you can adjust your website to user experience level.
Yeah, absolutely. I've seen some Hotjar data. Some other third-party tools out there can measure some of this stuff for you too. Not just Google. Like you can see like heat maps, like where people are putting more of their energy. Where's the cursor at? Or how far they scroll and like the percentage of that, like he was mentioning. And it'll kind of, some of these tools will actually give you a ranking of like, well, this gets clicked the most, this one gets clicked the second most, and third most, and so forth. When we're looking at these tools, what are some tools that people might be able to implement?
So, of course, Google Analytics, you can kind of use Google Search Console just to see your top ranking keywords that are generating the most clicks, but that won't really show the whole story. Then there are paid tools which you can use, like there is Hotjar, for example. I know we used that for a while. Yeah,
you know, it's great. You know, there are other heat map tools. There's so many tools out there that you can look at. So whatever you find fits your budget. Some of these are not free, so you need to make sure that you're finding one that'll fit. But you need to also see, like, there's some things that you were talking about, like page scroll. Something that I'm familiar with is, for a long time, people were wanting to make one-page websites.
Oh, God.
How much do you recommend a one-page website?
I know they have been a very strong trend in late 2024.
They came back.
Yeah.
I don't know why. Why'd y'all bring it back? It's a bad idea.
It's not a great idea, and unless it's a very specific scenario where all you need is like a conversion page where you're filling out form information.
Yeah.
Or you just have a very simple website where you have like what you do, about you, and conversion. Yeah.
Very simple funnel, right? Just a little bit of information. At some point, even just the item for sale, if that's what you're selling, if you're selling products or anything like that, is definitely good for targeted landing pages, but for the entire experience,
it's not great.
No, I even before they came back in fashion, which I hope they go back out of fashion soon, because the biggest thing I see is it gives you less pages to have searched, correct?
Yeah.
And then you also, the user experience is so awful. I hate clicking at the top and then it slides me to somewhere. And I'm like, wait a minute, did I miss something important? Like, it just makes, and especially if you got tons of animations, it just becomes this barrage of like sensory overload happening. I'm like, where did the thing that I was looking for go, and am I on it?
Yeah, and from a technical standpoint too, it just takes forever to load.
Oh, definitely, because it's firing off hidden scripts and things that most people don't even know is embedded on these websites, and that drags down page speed, load speed, you name it.
Yeah, like let's say you just have a video page, but it's a section on the one-page website, and you have like 4 or 5 videos, that's going to cause a significant loading time.
Yeah, to me it just feels more bloated at the end of the day because it's everything on one page.
Yeah, and I think it's kind of like retro in a way, kind of like the 70s coming back at some point.
Y'all brought back the 2010s? I didn't want that.
Yeah, but like the main thing I like to talk to people about is just like look through your website from a customer's perspective. How easy is it to get from point A to point B? And if it takes more than 5 clicks, or just to get information, if it takes more than 3 clicks, that's probably too much.
And the one thing that I tell people is get a friend, get a family member, someone to actually look at your website who's unfamiliar with it. Because you look at it all day long, so you're not going to see the pitfalls that they might find. You're going to get them to say, hey, just see how it is to book with me. Just send them to your website and see if they navigate to it clearly, if they have any problems. Because that's one thing that I've noticed is they'll think their website's fine and that nothing's wrong with it. Something else has to be the problem. But it could come down to the complete experience at the end of the day of navigating to said funnel to book. And I think one thing they could do is just utilize a friend. Get someone that doesn't use your website daily and say, hey, I want you to try to check out, figure out what I do, where my pricing is, how do I book with you? Those are things that I think can really help you, especially if they're, if they're a mom, that's not online constantly. Maybe they're only on social, but get them to go through a website experience and see what it's like to book a session. And if it's difficult for them, there might be something that's, in the way that you might need to fix on your website to make it more practical.
Yeah, I couldn't have said that better.
I think that's one thing that they can totally lean on.
Yeah, and building on that, give them a couple tasks to do. Like I mentioned, doing the conversion, whether it's like filling out a form or just booking a session with you. Have them try to do that without any prior knowledge. And also, I would recommend having them just look for information about what you do.
Yeah. So what are some other ways that people can optimize their website directly right now?
Yeah, so this is more on a technical level, and it's pretty difficult to do if you don't know how to code, but there's this thing called schema markup. And basically what this does, it tells search engines and AI, this is what this page is about. And it's another word for it is structured data. You'll see it referred to as both. But it basically explains the not necessarily hierarchy but key elements of a web page. And there are a lot of different main types and then there's subtypes, and I could probably go down the rabbit hole with this.
Yeah.
But it basically helps explain page elements to search engines and AI. And something that we've seen recently is AI loves schema markup more, and because it just makes it that much easier for them to understand.
So basically, it's like a more in-depth version of metadata?
A little bit. It allows you to hit page elements as opposed to just a brief page summary.
Okay.
And that's why I've been liking it more and more.
In a previous masterclass, we talked about AI and how it's making revolutionary changes in the photography industry, mostly in post-production. It's making huge waves there, but also in marketing. What are some ways that people can lean on AI and SEO going into 2025?
Yeah, so outside of content creation, it's really good for traffic sources for information-based queries. Because earlier or mid last year, around July or September, I think, they released their search feature publicly. So every account has that search feature. So how that search feature works is all of ChatGPT is based on Bing queries. So if you want your content to appear in Bing, you got to optimize content for Bing. And that's a little bit different than Google. Google, it's all about user intent, and you can do broad match, so you don't necessarily even need to include the keywords in the content you create. Bing, they have this thing called exact match wording, where if you want to rank for a specific keyword, you got to incorporate that, and whether that's titles, whether that is subheadings, or just topics, and incorporating that keyword into the content.
So you bring it up Bing. Is Bing worth exploring these days?
I would say so, just because of ChatGPT and AI feeding off of Bing search results. We've seen Bing go from around 2% of search, I think it was like 11% last year.
That's a huge jump for them.
Yeah, and that's why AI is such a compelling thing right now for search.
And how does this compare to like Gemini or Bard or whatever it used to be called? How does that compare? Is their AI sufficient enough, or is it something that people should be like not rely on?
I haven't heard great things, and there's a reason why ChatGPT is still the #1 AI right now.
Yeah, I remember when I was exploring Bard or Gemini in its earlier phase, and I think it was coming up with strange results for a lot of people. And
with the AI overviews, yeah, there was a thing last year where someone asked how many rocks does it take to eat a day to boost your calcium, and it recommended like 30 rocks.
That's what AI was for.
Yeah. I remember seeing it all over Twitter, and I laughed so much.
Well, besides rock eating, AI is going to be able to help people when it comes to, making sure that they're found in search and stuff like that. What are ways that our customers can think about AI? If you don't know, last year we released some new functionalities that are in your system that you can start playing with today, called PhotoBiz AI. So in PhotoBiz AI, it's basically tapped into ChatGPT. It's going to give you leverage, and we've optimized it, or we've curated it to be able to talk more about photography content when it comes to helping you out. So what are some ways that people can utilize that for their business?
Yeah, so our blog builder has AI integrated right now, and then a lot of our text editors do as well. I know that, or doesn't the title block have that as well?
Yes, the title block has. I think, it's going pretty much to all our blocks in our system, yeah.
And then I know we're working on a feature for our client galleries to create a blog based on the type of photography that's in that client gallery as well.
Yeah. So, the AI is here, and it's going to be able to not replace, but help. I think that's a big part of it. I think a lot of photographers, maybe the ones that aren't leaning into the technology as much, are afraid that it's to replace, where it actually can be there to assist. We talked about in our previous classes about AI, but AI shouldn't never be there to replace or completely create content, especially photography or video content, but it should be there to help you when it comes to workflows and to optimizing your entire speed. With your website, it should be done the same way. Like, you can use it to help you write blog content, but you still want to go through it. Even the content on your website. One thing I like to do is take what's on a previous website and kind of say, hey, give this a kind of like a makeover. Like, look through it, revise in it. Because sometimes you'll find typos or things that you've said, or I'll say, hey, optimize this more for SEO. And it'll find ways to kind of integrate things that I didn't think about when it comes to, like, well, I'm a pet photographer, and I should probably mention something about animals in this one section. It's really good at that.
Oh yeah, exactly. And one thing I want to point out is just use it as a rough draft. It shouldn't be the final product.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, it should be there as an assistant, not as the full-on copywriter. Besides creating content, what are ways that people can really try to connect? Because the internet is so vast. There's billions, if not trillions, of websites at this point and web pages. What are ways that people can, build up their rank strategies?
Yeah, so there is this thing called backlinking, where you get referenced on another website. And the reason why that's important is that it helps grow brand recognition on search engines, and your name becomes associated with the type of photography from another resource.
So, backlinking. We're talking about putting your website on someone else's website. Can it be anyone's website?
Yes and no. Like, you don't want to be on someone who's like a spam content writer, or just all they do for backlink building are buying backlinks for you.
Yeah.
And that kind of thing. But if it's just a friend of yours who's a photographer, or maybe a local guide,
vendors, things like event vendors, yeah.
Exactly. As long as they're relevant to your website. So let's say you're a wedding photographer, try to get listed on some of the venues that you've shot at.
Yeah.
Or some of the other vendors, like the food caterers, or just get referenced. And usually people will do that in exchange for a backlink on your website. And you could just reference them in a blog, or just your preferred vendor list, for example.
Yeah, so say you do wedding photography and you primarily use a church or something like that, you could be that church's photographer. And that would be great for you to have a link, and you guys could just cross-link to one another, right? So that's that sourcing. What are some other relevant or even better type of backlinks that they can have? Would a better backlink be like something like if they were in the news or anything like that, or like a substantial business?
It just kind of depends. It's all about target relevancy. You want to be associated with, like, the best way I can explain it would be, do you want this person to reference you and make that public? If yes, then go for it. But if, say, like Bill down the street that has like a coffee shop wants to reference you, but they have no photography or anything. They just like sell coffee beans. How is that relevant to headshot photography?
Yeah, and like getting on the news can be great, but it also could be a negative too, right? Because
Yeah.
if, I mean, something bad happens, someone says, "Hey, this photographer did something bad." That's a really bad link.
Yeah, well, you know what they say, there's no bad PR.
That's true. You always work it out.
Yeah, exactly.
So people can start working on creating backlinks, and this will help again with that rank, right? So this will help them. It just gives them more exposure at the end of the day.
Yeah, exactly. And that also, having that cross-brand recognition, it kind of helps you appear in those featured snippets as well, outside of having specific coding that's targeting that. And different ways you can go about doing that as well. You can create really, really good content that people reference naturally. Something that I recommend people doing is create infographics. Those get hyperlinked all the time.
Oh, yeah.
And especially with image search. And I've even done that on my personal website that I write about sports on. Like I see infographics, or I'll see an image from like ESPN that I just link back to ESPN on.
Yeah.
For the hyperlink.
You'll see, like, just when they're writing paragraphs, they'll have links through everything. You know, it's not just a static page or a blog page with nothing on it. They are hyperlinking back to true sources so they can have those intermediaries of working together at the end of the day. So you build up each other.
It also just builds up brand trustability. Like, I've had a lot of people in the past worry that it's just going to create a traffic source away from their website, but that's not necessarily the case.
Yeah.
You're providing, like, it's kind of like writing a paper back in high school. You want your sources cited because not all your information is going to be yours. You want to provide a source that backs your claims, though.
So a new term that you've given me that I'm sure not many people know is zero-click searches. What is that?
Yeah, so this happens a lot with stuff like featured snippets, but it's whenever you search for a search term, let's say local weather, and you find all your information on the search result, then you click away. That's a zero-click search because you searched for something and you didn't interact with anything.
Oh, okay. So it's just like if you say what the weather is and immediately you see it, you don't even click through to weather.com or wherever.
Exactly.
Okay, so it's just them getting the raw details right out the gate and not clicking through to your website.
Yeah, exactly. And we're seeing more and more of that because there's AI overviews, and then people are just wanting information quickly. So they'll read the meta descriptions or the section that's featured within a search result of like a blog article. And a stat that I like to reference a lot is last year that 60% of searches ended with 0 clicks.
Wow, that's incredible. Is that because of AI?
I believe so. I haven't confirmed that, but that's the general overall like feel for it.
So if Gemini is doing something, it might be something related to this, or ChatGPT. It might be because it's getting that information to the user quicker because based on everything else that's already been put out there.
Yeah, exactly. And there isn't really any way to combat that from an SEO perspective currently.
I was about to say, is that must negatively, I bet customers don't like that. Or
100%, because then I've seen it more and more when looking at metrics compared to previous years, and search traffic across every single person is down, at least like 10 to 20%.
And that's just a universal statistic. You know, like things have changed, you know, as the algorithm keeps changing. I talk about one that happened with social media about 5 years ago. That was a huge shift when they started making all these changes to Facebook or Meta and Instagram. How much that changed from letting iOS users opt out of seeing certain content. That meant right away our usership went down, but it builds back up over time. That's the important part. Like, I think a lot of people get scared when they see dips and they must think something's wrong. It could be just a universal thing that happens across not just photography industries, but every industry at the end of the day is feeling those types of effects.
Yeah, exactly. And I've seen people in various SEO forums complain that they had 1 million impressions 1 month and then they went down to like 100,000 or even like 10,000
Wow.
overnight. But then those people also got hit with a manual penalty because of backlinks.
So really, you got to watch out for all those scams out there, everyone. There's going to be people telling you need this and that to actually rise in ranks, but get it from our in-house experts like Jack, who's seeing all this stuff daily. He's pretty raw about everything. If anything, I've talked to you, you're like, nah, that ain't going to work.
Yeah.
So that's the nice thing, because he's not going to fluff it up. Because a lot of people are like, yeah, you just need to pay a little bit more, buy this to get where you want. Where with our thing, it's what it is. We help you and we source the problem, and we try to help elevate you as much as we can with the parameters that are given to us. So as we end our masterclass on SEO as we go into 2025, what are some predictions that you think SEO is going to be like going forward? What do you see happening more?
It really depends on the Department of Justice thing from Google, but
Yeah.
I see search traffic decreasing more and more, especially for service-based industry, and that has to do with like current economy and all that too. But overall, I can't really predict too far ahead because AI is changing every month.
It's so rapid.
Yeah.
It's hard to keep up. Like after this comes out, something's going to change. That's just how the nature of the beast is right now.
Yeah, even last month, ChatGPT or their parent company OpenAI had 12 days where they were talking about new features for the product that are coming out just in this month alone, and then in the oncoming months it'll be something similar.
And Chat has their own search system that's kind of rolling out now. It's out available, I think, to everyone as long as you get on the wait list or if you have it. But that's something that's becoming a rival to Google itself, right?
Yeah, exactly. And that's probably played a big part why Bing has increased in the search market value. And they're at like 12 to 15%, I believe now.
Oh, wow. Who would have thought, Bing? You stuck it through.
Yeah.
You did it. Because I never thought Google would ever be in this position, but things change.
Yeah, now if Yahoo can get back up there.
Let's get Yahoo back. Bring back Yahoo 2025.
Create a hashtag around that.
Hashtag Yahoo 2025. Bring it back. Jack, I appreciate you spending some time with us during this masterclass. Everyone, if you want to have more in-depth conversations about SEO, if you like these conversations that we're having, please let us know in the comment section. This is the only way that we're going to be able to create more content that is helping you rise at the end of the day in these rankings, in this ever-changing world of algorithms and search. We want to be on top of that. And if you think this information is prevalent, you always want to reach out to us. Let us know in the comment section. If you want to work one-on-one with Jack, you can with our SEO Go services. We have that pro service available. We have SEO Go and SEO Go Plus. Those options are great because not only will he be helping you out with strategies and implementing them, that if you go to the next level, he'll actually help you with the content creation side of that. And that's really great there. And that also leads into social media. If you have any trouble with social media, if you want to have growth there, our social media services that are available, you work with Jack, you work with Jeffrey as well. You're going to work with our team, and we're going to help you grow your social media and SEO strategies on 2025. So if that just sounds like a lot of work to you, won't you lean on us? We're very affordable, especially against a lot of those competitors out there. We're going to make sure that you get up there, and we're not going to give you any fluff at the end of the day. I mean, like I said, Jack gets straight to the point. That's why I like working with him. He's very incredible with the source of information, and he's keeping me on my toes because I didn't know half the things that changed in December because I was too busy making video content, and he's like, all that's changed. And I'm like, I feel like I got to start over again. So thank you again for joining us today, Jack.
Yeah, no problem. I had a great time.
Thank you for joining us, everyone. Can't wait to see you in our next class.
Hello everyone, I'm Jeremy Heiler, the creative director here at PhotoBiz. Today, I want to dive deep into a topic that's becoming increasingly relevant in our field: how artificial intelligence is transforming photography. AI is not just a buzzword, it's a tool that has the potential to revolutionize every aspect of our work, from shooting and editing to managing our businesses. From a photographer's perspective, the conversation around AI shouldn't be rooted in competition. While AI-generated content can appear impressive, it remains distinguishable, especially to those with a trained eye. Granted, not everyone can easily tell the difference between real and AI-created images, but thankfully, most platforms embracing AI now clearly label AI-generated content. Of course, some exceptions slip through. Get it. Just a year ago, the rapid evolution of AI might have felt intimidating, but rather than something to fear, it's a tool photographers can use to elevate their craft. No AI will ever replace the unique artistry and personal connection you bring to your clients. However, it can help enhance your work and streamline your process. If you think about it, the music industry has been leveraging AI tools for decades to improve production. So why not photography? In this, I'll show you how photographers can embrace AI to boost creativity, optimize workflow, and grow their businesses as we head into 2025 and beyond. One of the most time-consuming parts of photography is post-production. AI has already made significant strides in this area. Think about tools like Adobe Lightroom and Photoshop that already use AI to suggest edits, mask subjects, or even apply your favorite filters automatically. Imagine this. You finish a shoot, upload your images, and within minutes, AI suggests a full set of edits based on your previous work. It can learn your style, whether that's bright and airy or dark and moody, and apply consistent adjustments to all your images. This doesn't take away your creative control. It speeds up the tedious parts so you can focus on fine-tuning and perfecting your art.
Now we're going to move on to another brand new feature, Quick Actions. Quick Actions is an absolute game changer. It's going to suggest you edits based on the type of image you're editing. If you have a portrait pulled up, it might suggest things like brightening eyes or whitening teeth. Because we're editing a landscape photo, it's going to suggest a few things like editing the background or changing the sky. So we're going to go into the Quick Actions panel, and we're just going to select the sky. And we're just going to have a look through some of the options here. So as you can see, it does a few creative edits. So I like the golden hour. I'm kind of going for that golden hour vibe. So I think I'm going to pick that one. And then let's go ahead and select the subject. And as you can see, it just makes a few edits to the subject. I like that first one pop. We might just leave it like that. And it's done a really great job enhancing the image in just a few clicks.
Before people started talking about AI tools that do it for you, Actions were already doing that for photographers and designers, speeding up workflows, keeping edits consistent, and saving tons of time. So yeah, Photoshop Actions, they're like having a personal editing assistant from way back in the day. Now, Lightroom and Photoshop other plugins have existed for years, being able to do this. Just now, it is getting more intelligent and accessible. The machine learns patterns from you and your needs to make changes. And it's not just basic edits. AI can help with complex tasks like skin retouching, background removal, or even creating stunning composites. For example, instead of spending hours masking and blending layers, you could let AI do the heavy lifting, and you refine the final result. Now let's talk about the business side of things. Running a photography business involves more than just taking pictures. There's marketing, client communication, invoicing, and scheduling, all of which can be streamlined with AI. In the last few years, AI chatbots have become virtual assistants in watching your site, but also offering ways for starting conversations. AI chatbots can handle basic client inquiries, freeing up more of your time to focus on what you love.
As a wedding photographer, I want to get back to them, boom, in a flash. We know how important that is, and so if I can get them a pricing guide ASAP, that is going to be game-changing compared to my other photographer competitors that require an actual human to respond with a pricing guide. That might take them 24, 48, 72 hours, and I can beat them to it with an instant reply. And so I can take that and they DM pricing, and then on my back end, I lay out an entire workflow that sends them an instant reply that says, hey, awesome, we're so excited to hear from you, and we're so excited that you want to learn about our pricing. Here's our pricing guide right here. And then they reply, and I then maybe have it trigger something where it says, oh, you're ready to schedule a consult? Perfect. Here's a link to our calendar where you can set up a consult. It's just a 30-minute Zoom. And all of this is automated. See how game-changing that can be, that it can just get them the information that they need ASAP? It can get people booking instantly.
It's about increased sales. A local IQ study from 2023 said businesses implementing chatbots have experienced a 67% increase in sales. Chatbots assist in upselling, cross-selling, and recovering abandoned carts, directly contributing to revenue growth. There are many to choose from, but can be costly and may not be right for your business. Others directly notify you to speak when someone is on your website, like Facebook Messenger. Being able to interact with customers is key. And speaking of interaction, when it comes to social media, AI tools can analyze engagement data, recommend posting schedules, and even generate captions or hashtags. Using ChatGPT can be a resource when it comes to thinking ahead or using a social media manager like Hootsuite to upload at the perfect time for your posts. Staying active on social platforms can feel overwhelming, but AI can make it manageable and effective. Ever wonder why TikTok has become such a hit, even outpacing Instagram in some ways? Honestly, it just does things better. Its algorithms, UI, and overall experience make it easier and more fun to use. It's super quick at figuring out what you like, and even features like in-app shopping feel more natural and less clunky. TikTok's AI game is strong too, but not in a gimmicky way. Instead of throwing random AI-generated images at you, it focuses on practical features that actually make sense for users. Take the AI Group Shot tool. It lets you and your friends create fun images with templates, and the AI Self option enhances your personal content in a cool way. That's why TikTok keeps winning. Meta might eventually catch up by copying features, but it's always playing catch-up. And that's the gap competitors keep using to carve out their space. AI isn't just about making things faster, it's also about unlocking new creative possibilities. But AI will play a key role in helping photographers push the boundaries of what's possible. AI-powered tools can be game changers for photographers. For example, AI-driven idea generators can help you brainstorm shoot concepts. Got a rough theme or mood in mind, but stuck on how to accomplish it? Input it into a tool like ChatGPT, and it'll suggest locations, lighting setups, props, and even poses. It's like having a creative partner that never runs out of inspiration. Beyond pre-visualization tools, there are content creation platforms like Canva, which make designing social media posts and ads faster, efficient, and help you streamline your business operations. And let's not forget about cloning. Yes, even cloning yourself. Imagine this. What if the person you're seeing on screen isn't really me, but a digital clone?
Honestly, just look at this video. There is so much noise out there, and so that's why I've curated all of this into a simple step-by-step guide. These days, how you show up online is the new handshake. It's the first impression you give to your podcast audience, your clients, your employees, your students. I mean, that was good, right?
Instead of getting dressed and setting up the studio every day, I can record a few looks and let my digital self handle the rest. It might feel a little strange, but it's becoming increasingly common. Many businesses are already using clone models to create quick, engaging content that connects with clients faster. The accessibility, ease of use, and reduced time investment allow me to produce something like this.
Hey, check this out. Remember me from 2 years ago? I've got hair in this one. Wild, right? This isn't just a throwback video. It's an AI-generated clone of me from an old clip. Pretty mind-blowing, huh? This is the power of machine learning and AI-generated content. Imagine the possibilities. I could create videos without the stress of constant filming. It's like having a time machine for content creation. Think about how this could revolutionize the way we make and share videos. The future of content is here. For example, what if I made this video about spring mini sessions? Hey there, exciting news for all you amazing families out there. March is just around the corner, and you know what that means. Spring is in the air, and it's the perfect time to capture those precious family moments. Thrilled to announce our exclusive spring mini sessions. Picture this, blooming flowers, soft sunlight, and your loved ones looking absolutely adorable. These quick and fun photo shoots are designed to give you stunning, frame-worthy memories in just 20 minutes. Got a beautiful outdoor location picked out, and trust me, the backdrop is Instagram gold. Spots are limited and filling up fast, so don't wait.
Instead of spending hours on production, I spend just minutes, giving me more time to focus on clients. Let's be real, having a great website is everything when it comes to getting noticed. But writing content, figuring out SEO, and making sure people can actually find your site, that can be overwhelming. That's where tools like PhotoBiz's own PhotoBiz AI steps in to save the day. Need help writing about your services or telling your story in a way that connects with potential clients? Just plug in some info, and PhotoBiz AI can whip up polished, professional copy in no time. Whether it's your homepage, about section, or even blog posts, It's like having a writing assistant who knows exactly what you need. And the best part? It doesn't just help you sound good, it helps your site rank better too. PhotoBiz AI can suggest keywords, improve your metadata, and handle all those little SEO details that help more people find you online. Speaking of search, discovery is going to look a whole lot different, thanks to AI. We're moving beyond just typing keywords into Google and hoping for the best. AI will understand intent better, meaning it'll anticipate what people actually want, not just what they type in search. For businesses, that's huge. If you're using AI-driven tools to optimize your content, you're not just improving your search ranking, you're making sure the right customers find you faster. Imagine having AI suggest keywords, craft content, and even predict what your ideal client is searching for before they even know what they want. That's the future of search. TikTok's success didn't just change how people consume content. It also shook up how AI works in search. Think about it. TikTok's algorithm doesn't wait for you to type something in. It just knows what you want to see next. That's raised the bar for platforms like Google, which now have to make AI in search way smarter and more intuitive. Here's how AI in search is evolving because of platforms like TikTok, predicting what you want before you ask. Just like TikTok's For You page shows you exactly what you didn't know you needed, AI in search is moving toward predicting what users want before they even finish typing. It's about understanding intent, not just matching keywords, making search visual and interactive. TikTok isn't just about words. It's all about video, images, and even sound. AI in search is following that lead with more visual and voice search options, so you can search in ways beyond just typing. In short, TikTok didn't just raise expectations for fun content. It changed what people want from search entirely. Now, AI has to be faster, smarter, and more intuitive, delivering answers and helping users discover cool stuff they didn't even know they wanted. Now, let's jump into the back of PhotoBiz and play with PhotoBiz AI and see how we can build a website and create content quickly or refresh your website right now.
Let's go ahead and just create a block. Let's just add a block between, writing something about yourself. So if you're doing a homepage, something that you can write about would be like a bio. So, what type of photography you do, where you're based and located at, if you have any accolades, anything like that. So we're going to start there because that's always really nice to do. So let's go ahead and write a little prompt for it. I'm a photographer based in Greensboro, North Carolina. I need to write an introduction that excites people about taking, we'll do senior photos with me. And it could just be, we can keep it short, keep it long. We'll see what it prompts out with just with this basic information. So very quick, just a sentence. So I'm a photographer based in Greensboro, North Carolina. I need to write an introduction that excites people about taking senior photos of me. So let's do that. We're going to hit generate text. And what it's going to do is going to generate the text based on the prompt here. And you can see right away, here's something that is created. So we'll remove this conversation piece, like, sure, you want to do something. And this title, we can go ahead and cut that and we can paste it up here in the title section. Hey there, class of 2024, 2025, whatever you want to say. We'll put 2025. Are you ready to make memories that'll last a lifetime? Senior year is a time for celebration. What better way to commemorate this milestone with stunning personalized senior photos? As a passionate photographer based in Greensboro, North Carolina, you can see it's adding in all those little details, all the little SEO bits that I asked it to. And you just kind of go through it, make sure it's hitting all the high notes you want. Of course, you could be more detailed for the prompt so it understands what you're trying to generate. But here right away, we already have something that we can utilize. Now, say you like this, but you want it to be shorter, you could just copy this text that it created and then rerun the prompt. And I'll show you that next. So I'm going to copy this. We're going to put that right in there. So we have this text block. I'm going to copy this block. And what if we were to tell it to do the same thing but make it shorter? So we're going to paste it in there and make it shorter. Mention my name, Jeremy Hyler. And then we'll just give it a little thing here. So we're going to do that. We're going to tell it to shrink it up, and you can see now it's reduced it a little bit. You can put here whatever you want to. So we're going to keep this
intact and see how it generated differently. You can see it made it quite shorter. At least it dropped a paragraph or two directly in here, and you can keep messing with it till you get a style that you like or what it says, as long as it's hitting those high notes. So this is the basic knowledge of how the PhotoBiz AI system works. It's going to be conversational. It's going to build on top of the prompts that you give it, and it's very, very streamlined to that existence. So let's build an entire page together utilizing these features so we can kind of see what it's like. Now, if you're starting from scratch, obviously you can just start building, adding your blocks however you want to. And then there's other blocks that you can intertwine through this. So maybe this block, I want to have something that's paired with it that's about booking with me. Create a call to action about booking graduation photos and how you can do either on location or in studio. So you could have something like that. Very, very simple prompt. We're just going to say generate that. And this is kind of where it becomes this system, right? So here we go. It gave us this header. So I might take it. I'm going to put it in our title section. I'm going to change this back to a paragraph. So capture a significant milestone, stunning graduations and stuff. Whether you prefer natural backdrop or an outdoor location or a controlled professional setting, your professional studios, we have perfect options for you. And then it kind of explains a little bit about it. And if you don't want to, you can take a little bit of it out. You can remove whatever you want. Don't miss out on this opportunity. And then you can have your booking option directly there. So I'm just going to keep this text for now. We're going to pair it with an image. We're just going to select this one right here. I think that's good. And then we're going to modify the layout. We're going to select one of our newer layouts, see what we got. Nice little text overflow. I like this one right here. You can see now we got something that's playing with it. So we have this style. I'm going to remove the one at the top because we only need one. I'm going to style it up a little bit. Simple. So we already got, let's see what we're working with. So you can see directly in here, we've got these two blocks already working together. So you can keep styling on top of it. Now, what if you already have pre-existing pages and you want to modify that? Well, that's easy too. So let's go ahead and create another page that's already got content on it. So what if you want to start with one of our layouts? That's simple enough too. So we'll just select this one. We're just going to make it our new one, test. We're just going to let it build itself. And now it's obviously going to have a bunch of placeholder content that isn't yours, but let's see what it looks like on the page. It's going to be nice and lush. It's got some effects already on there. You can modify those however you want. But you can see it's already got all this context on here. So we want to change this content to be more focused on ours. Now, of course, I could copy and paste it directly from this page if I wanted to, or I can do it right here on the block again. So we have this, I want to tell it to, I'm going to change this to just say, Greensboro headshots. So we have that. And then we're going to change this where it's actually going to be about some context here. So now we do I'm a headshot photographer named Jeremy Hyler. My Studios does professional headshots. I need something that will be an introduction to my work, how I'll help the customer or help the client look good for corporate. Film and television, and for their own personal portraits, for branding and more. So Simple enough. We just write a quick paragraph ourselves that it's not clearly defined, but we're going to tell it what we want, and it's going to generate that context. So we know what we want. We want to make a studio headshot, professional headshot. We want this to be engaging. We want this to be an introduction. And here we go. It's going to say, welcome to my studio. If I want that, I can remove it if I don't want it. So I'm going to remove that sentence because we already have a nice intro above it. So then I'm just going to change this to a header 1. And then you can see what types of headshots we do. Now, I might break this up in different ways, of course, but we want to see what it generated. To me, it's a lot of words, but there's ways to make this attractive. Like, you see how there's 3 pieces here? This is where we could take some of these elements that exist below and then add them to those areas. So if I was going to take some of this, I might take some of this right here, like corporate headshots. I might make it into another block where it's all focused on these types of things. So like portraits, we might change it right here where it's like this. Just paste the context in. All right, there we go. So you could take something like this, headshots, portraits, or anything like that. If it's focused on corporate stuff, you can keep that there. We can change this to say, instead of saying portraits, we could say corporate headshots, and then of course have an image that represents that. And then you can refresh it as it goes. So you can have that context collected here instead of it being all styled here. So then what I would do is I would just purge what I have up here and then add it where necessary down below. So just kind of going from that type of action. So that way we already generated some really cool context when we needed it, and then we can just add it directly into these spots. So again, right here, I would take that context, film and television portraits, I would take some of that. And then just make sure everything is styled properly. So this is how the AI, you can utilize it as a functionality, as a tool for your website, and put it in parts to make other sections more robust. So very fast, very simple. I utilize the text editor block a ton. It just makes things so much easier and a breeze instead of being like, well, what do I want to say for these sections? Especially when you're creating like secondary menus or like just conversational pieces to design these areas. You just want to make sure it looks, stylistically polished. And when you get stuck to these areas, it can be really difficult. So personal branding, there we go. So you can have these contexts here. You can read through it, make sure it says everything you want to, make changes however you want to those elements. So maybe right here we might want to take some of this. Like, I like some of the ideas, but I want to style it up just a little bit. We're going to take right here. I'm going to add a new little divider that we have. We're going to change it up. We're going to change it to a little tiny line. Something a little stylistic. So you can keep taking this context. You can remix it however you want to. There's so many different ways you could do it. Or maybe you just want this little piece right here. This is really, really nice. And then if you need to have like your prompt here, you can modify the one here. Meet me. Just gonna put this. Meet Jeremy. And then modify the context of this section as well. So, I need to put an about section for me. Jeremy Heiler, pro photographer, 15 years experience in Greensboro area for headshots and video. Something like that. You could do that. So very general, very quick. Let's see what it wrote about Jeremy. So we have Meet Jeremy at the top, so we're going to keep that. Jeremy Heiler is a professional photographer with over 15 years of experience specializing in headshots and video production. Based in the Greensboro area, Jeremy is dedicated to capturing the essence of his subjects through stunning imagery and compelling storytelling. His extensive portfolio showcases a range of work, etc., etc. So you can see it really, really crushed out something really nice and polished right here. And you can really take something out of that. You can modify how you want to. You could say, hey, take this, but add something else to it. So I really like what it wrote here, so I'm going to save it. I'm going to remove this part right here. We don't need that. But maybe you want to make some slight changes to it. Maybe you want to add something that you didn't think about till much later. You could say like, okay, I want to take this, I'm going to copy it, and I'm going to say, mention my work with brands like ESPN, Coke, and Pepsi, or I'll put Discovery. And then I'll put a colon, and then I'll re-put what I already have in there, but I want to add more context to it. So let's see what it says. There we go. So now it added a section. Throughout his career, Jeremy has had the privilege of working with prominent brands such as ESPN, Coke, and Discovery. Further to showing his ability to hide, visual content. Easy enough, simple, straight to the point. Then I would have a picture here that represents me, and we can see how it's modified itself. Got this nice little section here. Looks really nice and clean. And then, this section's done, and you keep adding to those elements till you're excited, till you get something that you really feel good about. So this tool, this AI system, PhotoBiz AI, is here to assist you when it comes to writing complex situations or difficult areas. So if you wanted to make a pricing page, you could create a pricing page, and we can showcase how to do that. But let's jump into one area that a lot of people struggle with, and that's SEO. So ways you can utilize SEO, say once you have this page the way exactly that you like it, and it looks really clean and beautiful, now we need to add the element of actual meta and all those types of descriptions. So we already have the context, we like the page, however it turned out, but we need to add the SEO. So we're going to click up here in the top corner where it says SEO. Right here you'll see that the auto engine is going to have this, and we have this where you can see what the search engine looks like, how this page looks like. We need to actually add our SEO. Now we could hit custom, and it's going to just have it where you can customize it on your own without any assistance, or you can click the Ask PhotoBiz AI button here. So click that. We want it to be customized. So I am a headshot photographer in Greensboro, NC, that does photos for film, television, corporate, and personal branding for over 15 years. So we're just going to give it that quick little brief down. We're going to tell it to generate it. So what it's going to do is it's going to extract what the prompt is, and it's going to create this. Here's what the metadata presented. Professional headshot photographer in Greensboro, North Carolina. Amazing. And that's going to fit within this parameter that we gave it. You can see this is built on don't go past 65 characters. Now, of course, you could, but this is what Google recommends for the length of things. So could I put Jeremy Heiler? Let's see. I mean, I probably could. 67 characters, not bad. So see however you want to. I think professional headshot photographer in Greensboro, North Carolina is very SEO focused, so that's good. Let's see what else it said for meta description. Experienced headshot photographer in Greensboro, NC, for film, television, corporate, and branding for over 15 years. That's great. And if you want to, you could add probably a little bit more because we have a little bit of buffer room. But you can see that it put all that in there. I could put probably my name. Jeremy Heiler is a experienced headshot photographer in Greensboro, North Carolina, television, corporate, and personal branding for over 15 years. And we still have a little buffer room. We're still got a little buff. So we're probably okay to add more stuff if we wanted to. But this is pretty locked in. You could probably put Greensboro, NC, and surrounding areas. Let's see. Almost. So you can see, you can keep adding till you get that perfect formulation, but it already gave us something that was really in sync anyway, so I kind of like that. And then you can see the meta keywords. Now, again, they only want you to list up to 10 to 15, which is great. You can see headshot photographer, Greensboro, NC, film photography, television, corporate branding, personal branding, professional photos, experience, photography services, branding, photography. So you don't want to go really past all of that. So we have that, and it's locked in. You can see how it changed up here, the titling and everything. So you could do that to all your pages that you utilize for SEO purposes. Just go through there. You can see what you have existing and copy paste as you go if you want to. Like maybe you want a new meta description or something like that. Kind of just keep going through there till you get the descriptions you want. But you see, fairly easy to do. Again, the tool is here to assist you when it comes to writing this context. So you're not struggling with like, well, I don't know why I want this page to do. Now we'll come back to creating like a pricing page, because I think a pricing page is where a lot of people struggle the most with when it comes to creating context. Homepage and that are probably the hardest, because the investment page or the pricing page is where a lot of people struggle with, well, what do I need to say? So we'll come back to that. But the next big part of this is, I know a lot of you guys do not blog. And blogging is really, really your SEO secret weapon. I don't want to call it a secret weapon, but it really does act that way, because say your website has 7 pages and you have a blog page. Well, the blog doesn't act as pages on your website. It acts as like an extension, right? So when you're looking at your blog, think about how you can write context that create more pages for your website without creating more clutter. Now you see over here on the side, we have tons of test pages that we work out over here. Now, of course, these are like thousands and thousands of pages and things like that when it comes to looks. But when you're utilizing something for your own website, you don't want that clutter. We say a max of about 7 to 8 pages. What you want to do is create a blog. A blog can act as many pages as you want, because you need to be found in the sea of thousands and thousands of billions, millions and billions of pages out there. So how do you stand out if you only have 7 pages and you're like, well, I'm not ranking high enough? Well, the blog can act as an extension of that, because someone might find your blog before they find your website. Yeah, so they might come there first. So how do we make that more attractive to your customers? Well, let's create some content that could be a little bit more evergreen when it comes to this. So let's jump right over there. We're going to create a new blog post. I'm just going to call it test for now. We're going to jump over. And you can see, maybe you want to write some evergreen content. Now, what is evergreen content? Does anyone know what that means? Evergreen content means content that can live forever. It's not very synced to a time. So, you run into that like, oh, you need to get people for a mini session. Well, that's great. You can write that too. We'll write one of those as well. But let's focus on some evergreen content. So if you've never messed with evergreen content, something I recommend is something like, how you can keep people there, like what to wear for X type of session in Greensboro. So let's do that. So we're going to write an evergreen content. We're going to tell Ask PhotoBiz, need to write an evergreen blog post about my photography business in Greensboro, North Carolina, that focuses on what to wear for sessions, what to wear for each season in the downtown area for client photos for headshots. A little messy, but the AI will be pretty intelligent. So I'm just going to say, and you can see other prompts down here, what to wear for a great family portrait, etc., etc. So you have these options. So I need to write an evergreen blog post about my photography business in Greensboro, North Carolina that focuses on what to wear for each season in the downtown area for client photos for headshots. Let's see what it says. Just going to generate a post. It's going to bake one up for us. I like to say this is like cooking. So we're going to see what it cooks up. What to wear for headshots in downtown Greensboro by season. So look at that. We already got something here. That's awesome. So I'm going to tell it to do that. We're going to generate it. nice little blog post, great bit of information. We can add an intro. We're going to say, need an introduction paragraph. We're going to do that. I'm going to take a text block above. Need a introduction paragraph to this subject. Colon, what to wear for headshots in downtown Greensboro this season. Boom. It's going to generate something. There we go. Choosing the perfect attire for headshots in downtown Greensboro can significant impact to your impressions. City vibrant, blah, blah, blah. So it's going to go into something. Now, we don't want to make this purely about yourself yet. We'll do that at the end when the call to action shows up. So now we got this nice little introduction. We're going to add like a little divider. You would add an image up here as a banner. You pick something. We're just going to say family. I think I got a nice little stock photo here. Whoop. We can pull from. It's like a little family. There we go. They're in downtown. How about that? We could pull something like that. Got this nice little thing. And then we need a call to action to end this. So you could sprinkle throughout it all the types of storytelling that you want to add. Now I just want to end this blog. So I could say, need to end this blog with a call to action to book with Jeremy Hyler Studios in downtown Greensboro. The subject of this post was, colon, add it there, what to wear. So boom, gonna let it generate it, and you just give it a little context. Ready to capture best self? Awesome. How awesome of a headline is that? Great. Choose the right outfit for headshots for Seth. When you're ready to take the plunge and secure those perfectly, look for no further than Jeremy Hyler Studios in downtown Greensboro. Our team is dedicated to making sure that you not only look fantastic, but you feel confident during the session. How awesome of a thing is that? And instead of it being a text button, I could keep it that way if I want to. Don't wait any longer. We're going to have this. It's plugged in. How awesome. I love this. And we can, you can mix it up however you want to. You can take this right here, and I'm going to add a button. I'm going to change the button text. We're going to do that, and then you send it to wherever you want to. I'm just going to send it to photobiz.com. Let's just take a look at it real quick. Quick little blog post, what to wear, and this is evergreen. This content can live forever because how awesome we got each season, what they can wear in these locations, and then we have ready to capture your best self. And you can keep adding more flourishes however you want to. If you want to add more context to like specific locations in downtown, like, oh, you want to take photos in front of a mural or somewhere more with architecture or more open like sky, you can add those types of little details as you go. Just implement that into the story that you want to tell. So you can see how it looks. Final tips, we got that. It's really, really nice. So we got this article. I would totally post this right away and share it with the world. Very simple, very simple. Then I would have that blog post on our homepage or on our blog page. But you could write tons of evergreen content like this throughout the year, like, what makes the perfect headshot? And then adding in those details. What makes the best film and television looks for, whatever purpose, for dramatic actors or something like that. So think of ways that you can create that context. Now, if you're not just a headshot photographer, let's think about other ways you can do that. You can do that with wedding locations. Why X location is the perfect place to shoot photos for your next wedding or for your wedding. And then engagement photos or stuff like that. What to wear for your engagement session for each season. You could do stuff like that. Very, very quick and easy to apply directly to the type of marketing that you have. And then you would share this out. And the great thing about evergreen content, you can share this anytime. You don't have to share it once. I think a lot of people get stuck on, well, I wrote the article. And then they share it once and they're like, well, that's it. I got to write more stuff, right? Yeah, you do need to write more stuff. But guess what? You can always revisit articles. You got thousands of them at that point. So if you have tons of these, just write a bunch of articles like this. These can live on your website and they can always be generating content for you. generating leads. We have a call to action here to book now. You can add that book now here if you want to as well. It's really up to you when it comes to how you want to style it and get it to your customers. I'll copy this. You can change maybe the call to actions to the scheduling your appointment. Talk to a professional headshot photographer. Or instead of talk to, maybe we make it consult with. You can have whatever you want to say. At least then you're programming it to be where people have options and a sandwich in between. You can add more images if you want to. However you want to style it. That's done. So now we got one article for that. Now that's evergreen, but what if you need to do something in a timely manner? So let's see. Next big photo day is going to be Valentine's. Maybe you need a Valentine's Day session. So let's go right over. Just create a new one. We'll call this Valentine's. Create that. I'm going to tell it to, I need to write a Valentine related blog article that focuses on booking a session with me for my in-studio event. Spaces are limited, and for couples and families. Mention the cost, which is $250 for photos. For this pop-up mini session. All right, so we need that. I need to write a Valentine's related blog article that focuses on booking a session with me with my studio. We'll say booking a photo session. Photo session with me, and the times are limited. Okay, so we're gonna go right there. I'm gonna tell it to generate it. It's gonna work on it. We have that there. Wow, look what I already did. So it gave us, and we're gonna add an image here at the top. We need a nice little banner image. Let's see if we have anything in our stock. I'll just type in Valentine's. There we go. We'll just pop this one in for now. Capture your love this Valentine's Day in limited availability, talking about that. And maybe there's some things I want to do. I need to tell it to do a couple things. I need to let it know where it's located. We need to tell it to do a couple extra things. So we're going to ask it to do one more time. We're going to revise it. Revise this. Add location in Greensboro. And the first and second weekend in January for the shoot dates. Okay, and then colon again. But I'm going to just tell it to do that. And it's going to generate. There we go. It's located in Greensboro, all these locations. And it's telling us first, second weekend in January, and then you can put the actual physical dates if you want to as well. But we have this already. It's set. It's ready to go. It added just a little bit of context in there, and then you can add your button here for booking. So book now, and that's where you could link it wherever you want to. We're just going to send it to photobiz.com. Save those changes. Now we have this article. You can share it out to the world, but we need a page that goes along with this. So let's go ahead and create something in that timely manner, but we need to start it from scratch. So we're just going to create something from scratch. We're going to build. We could start with empty, but we already have, what's nice is we have a booking page already. So I'm going to select this as our template. I'm just going to say Valentine's on it. It's done. And you can see we have a scheduler built in and everything else. So what can we do in this context? Well, we need to build this quickly. So let's go ahead and do that. We need to create this page. We need to create a text editor block. I'm going to put it above here. Add some context. Introduction to landing page about Valentine photos or Valentine mini session photos for January 15th through the 18th. We'll just say something like that. This page describes the event and how to sign up. All right, so we're just going to tell it that. Just a little bit of data. Okay, so see, it's giving us some details. Wherever you want to, you can add, you can change the location, how much it costs. We're going to put it in the price right here, $250. We already know that. And how to sign up, etc. You can have all that information if you need to. Sign up's down below, so we don't need to worry too much about it. So we just want the event details. So we can take that right there, have it popped in. Perfect. I'm going to change it to one column. There we go. I'm going to make the title there. I'm going to make the title a little bit bigger. Let's see. We want this to really pop up. We got that going. Our text for this page we can also make a little bit bigger, so we can make the paragraph text a little bit larger if we want to. There we go. So we got it going. Oh yeah, I gotta put it up here. There we go. So now we got something. And you can make it more romanticized, however you want to with the colors. We got some nice little beautiful photos here at the top. So we're just gonna leave that rolling. So we can see what it's doing so far. So we got this, rotates here at the top. Available sessions book. This is where we need to put our scheduler. So some of that context that we have here, we can actually probably put into the event details itself. So we're just going to take it and we're going to utilize it by creating a scheduled event. So let's jump over to there. We're just going to go to our scheduler. We're going to create a mini session real quick. Click on services. You can see what you have available. We're just going to create a new one. We're going to call it Valentine's. We got our group. We're going to create new. We're going to create a custom date. And how long the duration. We have 15-minute duration, so we're going to stop there. And we're going to say Valentine sessions. There we go. And then you can put your details right here for your description. You know, we'll just say February 15th through 18th for now. If we need to change it, we can. We'll modify that later. We'll just put my location. And, you know, we have the duration set to 30, so we'll just keep it 30, and we'll just include 5 images. How about that? 5 images plus, you know, whatever you want. You can add whatever you want to when it comes to it. 5 images plus 1 web or something like that. And how much you're going to charge? We're going to put $250. And we're going to go ahead and ask for booking and all that stuff if you want to. There we go. It's done. Add your dates. So you go here. You can see that, you know, if you wanted to, we can do that. We're just going to do 15th through the 18th. You know, something like that, right? So we're just going to select 15th. All day event. Trying to maximize it. How much money we can get. We ain't taking no lunches. There we go. All day event. Have a photo that represents it. Click on the clipboard or something that you might have. Just select something. So I'm going to select here. I'm going to go to our, I'll say woman. Just type that in. See if there's anything.
We'll just select this one for now. Insert. You can see your availability for the time, instructions, anything you want to add here, you can do that. We're going to go over to our page that we built. We're going to choose that scheduled event, add the scheduler event. You can go to Valentine's, click there, select that calendar. There it is. Now I want to change the layout because I want to make this a single page event. So we're going to do that. We're going to go back to our service. We're going to select that again. And there's the event right there. Now, of course, whatever image you pick, you can modify it however you go. But let's go ahead and see what this page looks like now that we've added a little bit more context. We took the information that we're going to put here. We're going to pop it out of there because we don't need it up there anymore. So let's go back to that page. Let's remove it here. And now this page is starting to look a little bit more dressed for it. I want to modify the colors a bit just to give it more of a romanticized feeling to it. Right now it's got that gray. How about we do something that's a little bit more in this tone? What if we did something like that? And then we gave it a little bit of white color. White. Make the button. Let's make the button pop out. How about that? We're going to take that red and we're going to really emphasize it. You can do something like that. Simple enough. Now let's go over and test our page out. There it is. I'm going to change this banner above it to mimic the one below it. Let's change our colors, background colors. Let's give it that tone. Perfect. There we go. Let's refresh. You can see it's got something going on, and then when they pick here, you can see what they want to select, which dates, what's available. Then they can start punching in all their information directly here and take a payment. And if you want to, you can have a contact form here at the bottom, or you can not. I'm just going to remove it because it's not necessary. We just want people to book on this landing page. We're taking them straight to where we want them. And of course, you could add like extra details down here at the bottom if you need to like break down like how the event will go. Again, simple enough. Select some images. I'm just going to pick some from our stock. 1, 2, 3. There we go. We're going to pick 3 for now. And out of that, you can create something unique with that style that's just got some little beats to it right here. Or, in fact, let me change. I'm going to do one. I'm going to go to our list items because we have some cool list items. Let's do that. That add a little polish to the page. I'm going to select an image. 1. Do another one. 2. I'll add one more. And this will kind of give us our breakdown of how the process goes, because people always want to know how investment pages and stuff like that. So this is kind of working as an investment and landing page that way. We'll add some details directly here. So I'm going to ask it to give me this text editor block, and we'll delete this later, but we just wanted to give us some details. Need to do a 3-step break down for this mini session. 1, select date. 2, take photos. 3, view photos and purchasing. There we go. That's all we want. It's going to give us those 3 like that. I want to give it, put some details in there. Give details to each step of this process for a Valentine Let's see if it gives us something. There we go. This is what we're looking for. So you could have something like this, or maybe just take what you want out of it. So I'm just going to select this one. So we're going to pull this up. We're going to modify this block. I'm just going to add some details here. Select date. We're just going to say 1, select date, right? Just want that little bit of paragraph. That's all I want. That one little sentence. That's all I need. I'm going to have that. You can see how it's going to pop it in like that. How awesome, right? So we're going to do the next just like that. We're going to take from here, take photos. We're going to take that first line again. That's all we want. So I wrote something nice and prompt that we didn't really have to think about. We'll just say the session. There we go. And then our last piece, view photos and purchasing. So here we're going to take that. And you can get detailed here if you want to or more, but I just want them to know how it's going to go down. They're going to be able to view their photos and purchase after the session. There we go. This could be done in person or through online gallery. Boom. Simple. Straight to the point. Now we got something going. Right? We don't need this block anymore because we got our data, all the info that we wanted. And you can have this above or below. I'm going to put it above so they can see what the process is like. You want to romanticize this page a little bit more, you can look at our fonts that we have available. Maybe for the title, you want to change that up. Let's see what we have for scripts. Something like that might look really nice. Let's just choose it. Let's see, handwritten ones sometimes look good too. Let me go back to script. Maybe a little bit nicer. I have one that I like. I can't remember the name of it though. This one looks kind of cool. Let's see. Yeah, that looks good. And then we'll just make it a little bit bigger. There we go. Simple enough. Change the color. Let's give it a little romance to it. Make it red. We'll just make it pop out red. How about that? And we could change this too, but I'll keep it as is for now. But we can see at least what it's done. So we created this page. It's got some context to it. It's got some how the session's going to go down. All this data has been collected and scrubbed from the AI, from the text editor block. We've had it do all this stuff, and we've pieced together this entire page utilizing the AI system involved. Now, how do I get people there from our pages? Well, you can send them directly to this page by just going through the marketing channels, or you can also, what's best? That blog that we just wrote, you can add that call to action. Now you can add that link directly here for when people are going to it. So when we go back to it, they're reading the article, they're like, yeah, I want to do this session. Click on it, boom, it's going to drop them right into here, and then they can start scheduling and booking right then and there their time that they want to work with you. So you see, you can utilize this AI to expedite anything that you're working on. I mean, this page we put together in 10 minutes. The article we put together in 3. The homepage we put together in 10 minutes. So, just within this hour, we've built multiple facets and understood how we can utilize the PhotoBiz AI as a writing partner, as a buddy to ourselves. So when it comes to this stuff, it's going to be really, really accessible. And then, of course, you can then add some AI zhuzh to this page, right? So we can go back over here. We can go back to the page that we were on. You can go up to the SEO, and you can write something here, Let's go to our ad. Photo session in Greensboro, North Carolina for Valentine mini sessions at Jeremy Tyler Studios, Feb 15th through the 18th, 2025. Let's see. It's going to add a little zhuzh to it. There we go. Valentine mini sessions photos. Here we go. So people are looking for photo sessions for Valentine's. All these details are already built right on in, and we're going to, of course, utilize it. Done. How awesome is that? You're not sitting there banging your head on, oh, I need to make this work. Oh, I need to know how to do this. Rely on the PhotoBiz AI to assist you when it comes to those challenges. That's what is very, very welcoming about all this stuff. So we were able to create, 2 types of homepage styles real quick. We also created 2 SEO examples, 2 blog posts, and we created a landing page today, all utilizing AI, and we did that all in this hour.
Of course, we can't talk about AI without addressing the ethical concerns. As AI-generated imagery becomes more prevalent, we need to be transparent about what's real and what's digitally created. Authenticity is what makes photography powerful, and we must ensure that AI is used to enhance our work, not deceive our clients. There's also the question of originality. If everyone uses the same AI tools, will all our work start to look the same? I believe the key is in personalization. By training AI on your unique style and preferences, you can ensure that it serves your vision rather than dictating it. Thank you for joining me today for our masterclass on AI. There's still so much to learn about AI and what the future holds. Will it be harmful? Will it be regulated? Or will it simply become a normalized part of our daily lives? Much like the evolution from phones to computers to smartphones, the most powerful consumer computers today, only time will tell. Thank you again.
Hi, I'm Jessica. I'll be our guide in today's marketing event. It's a fast-evolving social world. Having a solid marketing strategy for websites and social media is more important than ever. Think about it for a moment. Where are your clients spending their time online? According to recent data, over 80% of internet users actively engage with social media platforms daily. Platforms like Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok have become more than just spaces to share photos or videos. They're your opportunity to connect, engage, and convert. Let's explore some proven strategies for 2025 that can help photographers attract more clients, boost engagement, and turn views into bookings. I'm going to start with a question. What are your clients looking for when they scroll through their favorite social media platform? Trends are constantly shifting, and staying ahead can make all the difference. Here are 3 big ones for 2025. Short-form video is king. Videos account for 82% of all consumer internet traffic. Platforms like Instagram Reels and TikTok prioritize these bite-sized clips because they grab attention quickly and hold it. For photographers, this means sharing quick tips, behind-the-scenes moments from shoots, or even a 15-second transformation of a raw shot to a polished masterpiece. Show snippets of your creative process, such as setting up for a shoot, interacting with clients, or demonstrating lighting techniques. Authenticity matters. A survey by Stackla found that 86% of consumers say authenticity is a key factor when deciding what brands they like and support. Your audience craves real, relatable stories over overly polished content. For example, show the chaos and fun of setting up a family photo shoot. Clients love to see the personality behind the lens. A 10-second clip of you adjusting a reflector to achieve perfect golden hour lighting can resonate with both potential clients and fellow photographers. Before and after transformations, share a 15-second video showing a raw photo transitioning into the final edited masterpiece. Include captions that highlight your editing skills and eye for detail. Tips and tricks: share quick photography tips like posing ideas, camera settings for specific scenarios, or tips for shooting in natural light. These videos establish you as an authority in your field. Client features: create engaging reels that spotlight your clients. Clients want to work with someone they feel they know and trust. Highlight imperfections. Instead of just posting flawless final images, consider sharing the real moments. Show the chaos of a toddler running around during a family shoot or a candid laugh between a bride and groom. Raw and unfiltered content. Occasionally post unedited photos or outtakes from a session. This can be a powerful way to showcase your creative process and your commitment to storytelling. Behind-the-scenes fun, share bloopers or unexpected moments from shoots. These relatable, unscripted clips resonate with clients who appreciate seeing the human side of your business. AI-powered personalization. Imagine your posts landing right in front of your dream client. AI tools like Meta's Ad Manager make this possible by helping businesses tailor content so it reaches the right people at the right time.
Drive sales with these creative tips for ads that click to message. 1. Use engaging visuals and intentional text to capture attention. Make sure to include your brand's logo and colors in the first 3 seconds. 2. Use mobile-friendly creative, like interesting short-form videos and vertical creative for 9x16 placements. Highlight your ad's messaging experience using text overlays and copy to immediately communicate that your ad is interactive. 3. Encourage customers with a call to action that sets expectations for the next step. It should be short and direct, like message us or book an appointment today. 4. Use tools and features like instant reply and FAQs to automate responses. Make sure to highlight your brand's personality with emojis and friendly conversation.
Google Ads and even AI-driven email marketing platforms allow photographers to create hyper-targeted campaigns. By harnessing AI, you can ensure that your content is seen by the right people at the right time. Now, photographers can use AI to their advantage. For example, you can target engaged couples in your area with ads featuring your wedding portfolio. So let's look at some social media platform details. Think about where your audience spends their time. Here's a quick breakdown. Instagram. With over 2 billion active users, Instagram is perfect for visual storytelling. Reels, carousels, and high-quality photos perform exceptionally well. Facebook. It's still a go-to for local marketing, with groups driving much of the engagement. Over 1.8 billion people use Facebook groups monthly. Photographers can create a group for past clients, offering tips on printing or displaying their photos. TikTok. With 1 billion active users, TikTok excels in creating viral content and engaging younger audiences, especially Gen Z and millennials. For instance, create a day in the life of a photographer video or share quick editing hacks. So we need to think about crafting content that resonates. Now ask yourself this: what kind of content actually speaks to your audience? It's not just about posting for the sake of it. It's about creating something meaningful that showcases your expertise and passion. The content pillar strategy. Start by identifying 3 to chart 4 main themes for your content. These should align with your brand and resonate with your audience. Examples include educational tips. Teach your audience something valuable. For example, share a post like 3 poses to flatter any body type. Behind the scenes. Show the real unfiltered moments of your shoots. Video of setting up for golden hour portraits can be engaging and relatable. Before and afters always work. Testimonials. Share success stories from your clients. According to Bright Local, 88% of consumers trust online testimonials as much as personal recommendations. For example, post a carousel featuring before and after shots with a client's glowing review. Promotions, highlight offers, discounts, or mini session specials. For instance, spring minis are here. Book by Friday to get 15% off. Every post needs these 3 elements. Hook, capture attention immediately. For example, struggling to get the perfect family portrait? Value, share something useful or inspiring. Think of it as your gift to your audience. Call to action, CTA, tell them what to do next, like DM us today to reserve your spot. How often do you actively engage with your followers? Engagement is about creating meaningful connections, and it's a two-way street. You can't just upload and get clients. These platforms want you to be an active member, not a passive one. Think about these engagement strategies. Be responsive. Reply to every comment and direct message. According to Sprout Social, 70% of customers feel more connected to a brand when the business responds to their social media inquiries. Use interactive features. Polls, quizzes, and questions on stories are great tools for starting conversations. For example, ask, which setting do you prefer for a photo shoot, beach or park? Collaborate. Partnering with a local wedding planner or venue can increase your reach. Micro-influencers, like popular moms in your area, can also help promote your family sessions. Being part of the online community and connecting with local partners can help generate buzz for your business and draw people in. So let's talk about how to foster a community and turn those into leads and customers. How can you make your audience feel like they belong? Here are some ideas. Host live Q&A sessions where you answer their questions in real time. For example, ask me anything, tips for preparing your kids for a photo shoot. Offer rewards for engagement, such as early access to holiday mini sessions or a discount for referrals. Next, let's focus on turning views into bookings. Here's the big question: how do you turn likes, views, and comments into actual bookings? It starts with optimizing your profile. Optimize your profiles. Think of your social media profile as your storefront. Ask yourself, is your bio clear and compelling? Does it explain what you do and who you help? For example, helping families in your city create timeless memories. Posts with clear links see a 20% higher conversion rate. Are you showcasing testimonials, services, or key highlights? For example, use highlights to display your best of 2024 shoots. Use effective call to actions. Encourage action with simple yet compelling CTAs, such as, spots for our Valentine's minis are filling fast. Book now. DM us to learn about our senior portrait packages. Amplify with ads. Ads can be a powerful way to expand your reach. The drawback means using money to get your business in front of people, but it can get you in front of the right customer more effectively. Consider retargeting ads. Retargeting can lead to a 70% higher chance of converting a lead into a customer. For example, show an ad to someone who visited your pricing page but didn't book. Video ads. Video ads generate 49% faster revenue growth than static ads.
Building a website can be hard, boring, slow, overwhelming, too much. Relax. PhotoBiz is easy. It's like easy mode switched on, so you can share, book, sell, and promote. Everything you do will help you no matter your level of web experience. Start free today with PhotoBiz.
Try showcasing a before and after transformation or a client testimonial video.
When I tell other people about PhotoBiz, I let them know that they're not going to find a better website builder. PhotoBiz has the fastest loading websites. They have people that you can call on the phone and get assistance. They have more features included than anybody else, and it's just so easy to DIY, but then also if you need the help, they're there to help you as well.
Now you need to look at measuring success and adjusting. How do you know if your strategies are working? The answer lies in the data. Key metrics to track: engagement rates. Are people liking, commenting, and sharing? Aim for a 3 to 5% engagement rate as a benchmark. Follow a growth. Is your audience steadily growing? Growth of 5-10% monthly is healthy. Website click-through rates. Are people visiting your site from your social profiles? Look for an upward trend. Conversion rates. How many inquiries are turning into bookings? The average social media conversion rate is 1 to 3%. Follow your audience and adjust based on insights. Regularly review your performance using tools like Instagram Insights or Google Analytics. Ask yourself what worked well, what could be improved. Test different approaches and refine your strategy based on the results. Now that we've covered optimizing your marketing strategies on social media, let's shift our focus to marketing through your website. For that, we'll hand it over to Jeremy.
Hey everyone, we're going to focus on now the website portion of marketing. So what are you doing right now on your website to gain leads? You know, you have the perfect funnels that you've created, right, with your home pages and your portfolio and other booking pages, but what are other ways that you can get people to stay on your website or even sign up for something so they can stay in your funnels? That's what our focus is going to be about today. So let's go ahead and see what we got going on. We've been building a website. This is our website that we've built. You can see that it's got a nice design to it, but you know, this is going to be great for getting, you know, people who come to your website who are looking for information to possibly book with you. But what if you're doing something where you want to obtain customers quickly? Maybe you want to create a booking page, mini sessions, or maybe you have some type of offer that you're going to extend to them. Those are some things that you could do on your website right now to, you know, curate a list that goes back into the CRM. So if you don't know what a CRM, that's a client relationship manager. So anytime someone fills out a form, purchases from you, they go in the back end of your control panel. That will be listed here. So you can see we have a contact section. So all that data and information is stored there. And some things that you can do to, you know, engage with that audience is by creating lists. And we're going to talk about how you create custom tags. We're also going to talk about ways that is important, especially when it comes to sending emails. So let's go ahead and dive into the marketing section right below it. So you'll have email campaigns that you can choose from, where you can create your own email campaigns that you can send directly from here. You have email automations, and we'll talk more about this in workflows and those features later in another masterclass. But this is where you can curate ones that are directly built for the client galleries, scheduling, and invoicing. And then finally, you have the pop-up builder. This is where you can create custom sticky banners and pop-ups that will generate and, you know, say on a time limit of like 10 seconds, this will appear for clients to see, and hopefully they'll engage with it. And this is perfect for when you're offering something like a coupon or a newsletter or something you want them to know directly, like a video opportunity. So we'll showcase that as well. So let's go first and start on email campaigns. So creating email campaigns is really easy. Click on New Campaign. And you'll see you have sample ones that you can choose from. So you can start blank with a simple blank one. Then you have promotional ones that are, you know, more about sales and opportunities that way. One for blog, and then you have ones for like different types of sessions, like mini sessions, family mini sessions. Reminders if there's any upcoming event that you want them to know about, like booking their session or sharing with a friend, or other senior sessions or anything like that that you want to highlight. Then you have ones that are just greetings that you can send to people maybe periodically just to check in on them or tell them about something that's going on in your bubble so they know it's going to be. So if we're going to click to see sample, just click sample. You see right here, here's what one of these newsletters looks like. Really easy. You can modify it as you go. Once you find one that you'd like to modify, you can just easily click select. So we're just going to select this one. You can see it loads in with our branding already if we have it uploaded, so we can see what it looks like live compared to the other one. Yeah, so there you go. That's the difference right there. And then you can modify this how you want to, you know, put in your own custom images. You can create stuff in Canva and just import it over. You can put in animated GIFs, however you want to make this look more stylish and polished for whatever type of newsletter that you're sending. We're going to stick with the seniors because I think this looks really nice, and it kind of is on brand for this website that we're building right now anyway.
And here you can see that it has a ready promotion already built in that we are talking about, like this week only, take 25% off full or mini sessions when you book online. Hey, I like that. It's pretty good. So we can stick with that. You can modify it as you go. You can customize the colors, the design of it. Maybe you want to change how the buttons look. Right now they're flat. Maybe you want them ghosts. You can do that. You can also change the social media icons however you want to, and if these emails have a border or not. So very easy to customize. And then color options. Maybe you want to change the colors up. Maybe we want the background color to be a little bit darker. I want it to be just a little bit more of a charcoal color. And we can see what that looks like. There we go. So that looks really nice. Really makes this section pop off. And for desktop, this is looks really nice. Most people will be viewing this in mobile typically, because just that's the nature of the beast. People check their emails usually through their phone, and this is what's going to display. So they might not see the color initially, but they will see the rest of this. But this will look nice when people open up their emails. They see a little bit of color. So you got that. Then you can link this. Again, you can have your own uploaded images from a clipboard, from something from a stock image library, or you can upload an image URL. When you do that, what's nice about here is you can put a custom image, and it can also be a GIF if you want to have something animated, and where you'd like it to link it to. So we're going to keep that. And then you have other settings. If you need to, you can change the name of it, if there's going to be a global footer displayed or additional footer options. And we have a simple one that we're going to start with. So we need to take them somewhere. So what are some things that we can do to amplify this? Of course, we would create a booking page where it's about this session type. We want to make sure that people are able to book for this session. So we want to make that set up. So we'll go to our scheduler real quick. We'll see what services that we have available. You can see that we have a family session, maternity session, and kids session. So we're just going to create a new one real quick. We're going to make this a mini session. So it's going to have a custom date for We're going to make this a custom date. That way it's a mini session event. So senior mini session. Then you add your description. Then how long the duration of the event. We're just going to make it 15 minutes a piece. And we're just going to make this a flat 200. And we're going to activate it for booking only. You could have payments here if you want to get payments as well. And then you can select your date. We're just going to make it a 1-day event from 8 a.m. to 5:30. How about that? Keeping it simple. Then we want an image to represent that. We'll choose something from our clipboard. We'll select this one. All right, so now we got this ready to go. So now when we go to our website, we want to create a booking page just for this. And this is going to be great for targeted landing pages for experiences, especially if you're sharing something directly on social media. So we're going to create a new page. We're just going to click that in the tab. We're going to click on page, and then we're going to go to others. We're going to select booking for this one, and we're going to call this one senior session. So we have that. This page is coming along. We're going to remove these images that we don't need, that don't really mean anything for this type of session. We're just going to add the ones from our clipboard. We'll do that many for now. And you can see this will be a rotating banner, so they'll rotate through. Looks awesome. Then we need to make sure that our session is available. So let's go ahead and do that. We're going to select the one custom one. And let's make sure our layout is doing what we want to. I want it just to display this way. So we're going to select that one. Then we're going to choose types of appointments. And then we're going to choose senior mini session. So there it is. It's available right away. Then you can customize the colors if you need to. But this page is coming along very nicely, and we don't need to leave anything for questions. And we're going to also make sure, since this is a landing page experience, we want to make sure that our header and footer is not displayed. And the reason why we do that is because if we're using this in marketing, we want to send people directly to this page without any interruptions of going to any other pages on the website. So this is a landing page experience that is dedicated just to their this session type. So I'm just going to remove any excess. And this page is already ready to be used for marketing. Now, of course, you can add more details. So maybe you want to explain what this session's about. So let's just go ahead and add some text. And let's go ahead and add a little details about it. We're going to ask PhotoBiz AI to assist. So there we go. I'm going to add that information directly here. This is just going to beef this up. So then you can see all the details here, whatever you want to keep, whatever you don't want to keep. Just going to extract what I don't want. And of course, if you wanted a more robust one, you could. So we're just going to keep it simple right there. And then we're going to modify the colors and stuff like that real quick. Or this gray tone. And of course, if you want to keep this way, you can, or you can modify the look of it however you want to. I'm going to see what we got right now. I'm going to make everything this way. Maybe remove the details. We'll put that in the actual listing. There we go. So we'll keep it like that. Then we'll take that back to our scheduled event. We'll put those details directly here since we got what we wanted. There we go. And it's ready. So this page is ready to be used as a booking page now. I'm going to hit refresh. There you go. Kind of see what it looks like. Very fast, easy. You can style it more if you want to, but I'm just trying to show off how you can have a page. And now you can send this out for social media channels. When you have a post, you can have it directly funneled to here. If you're doing anything with ads, you can directly funnel people directly here so they're not getting lost by going to other pages or anything like that. So then you can have them select their date and time and go from there. Very fast, very easy. So that page is set up. And of course, we can campaign. Let's go back over. You can see we have our session. We're going to go ahead and add a link here. So if people click on the image, I always recommend doing that because people click in lots of weird spots that you don't think they would. And then we're going to add it here as well. So now this is ready to go. They click here, boom, it takes them right over to the landing page. So this is ready for marketing purposes. So how would you send this out? Well, there's a few ways you could do this. Now, if you don't have any leads on your, your CRM, only got a couple right here, right? We need to make sure that these are going to people specifically. So you can send everything out in mass by simply going to send. We've got 2 contacts. Hit continue, and then you would send, from your name, from what email you want to use, and a subject. You want to entice them. So something that's along the lines of, senior mini session, 1 day only. Something like that, just to get them excited. And then hit confirm, and then you would send it once your account is verified. So then it'll send off to them. They'll get it, everyone on that list. But there's other ways you can do this too. You can do it by types, if they're customers, leads, or vendors, or by tags. Now tags are important because, say this one right here, we have one already selected. If we click that, you can see that we have one person ready. Now if you have a list of like 1,000, this is how you can break it up. And tags are very important for this because you can either add tags on the form end or on your products and services that you have. And you can manually add them to people as well. So if I was going to add some manual ones real quick, I'm going to go to contacts. I'm going to click on support team real quick. You can see right now there's no tags added, but we're going to add a tag to them. And this is our seniors. We're just going to say that, seniors tag. So if I only send this to people who filled out something for seniors, like an email blast or anything like that I've sent, I want to make sure that it's going to that customer type. So if I was going to see by tags, you can see now I have 2 here and who is going to get that email. Now you can also exclude as well. So if you have a huge list now and you're doing overlaps, maybe you want to send everyone that has a senior, but maybe you have a tag that on there is for people from 2024, 2025, so forth. Maybe you only want to attack those customers in that funnel. So you can update your forms by changing the tag out. Well, hey, now it's January, so I'm going to remove this 2024 tag. I'm going to want this to go to 2025 people who signed up. So you can do that. That way you don't exhaust your list and give out information to people that you don't really want to know that information. So ways you can add tags. Again, you saw how we did it manually directly there. Now you can also do it in other places. Again, in e-commerce, you can put it on products and services and such. So if somebody wanted an album, you can see tags here. You can add a tag directly here. You can see the one for family portrait album was added. So you can add one here if you're going to have other types as well. And the same thing for services. If you're going to do it for blog, you can do it for your blog as well. So if anyone was to say something to, say, this blog, you can add a tag here that is like, we'll say family. And it could be about anything. So if you know this is relegated to family content, so when people actually, respond to that here, they'll get a tag. So I'm just going to put something real quick. I'm just going to put an email. And then their comment. And then when it sits to submit, you'll go through an approval process. But what's great is it is already in the back of your CRM. So we click over here, we'll go back to contacts. And then when we refresh, now we'll have a new person that's been relegated to it. You can also see who has been added as well. So you can go to the comments. You can see the events. I'm going to approve that person. And then you can also see tags that were used in your posts. So you can see family tags have been used once in your blog posts. So now that person will be a part of the CRM. And you can see they are right here. And you can see they've already been tagged with families. So when we send our email and say we have an email for families, you can see we have 3 contacts that can send it to everyone, or we can do family people and people who might be interested in family portraits. So now we have 2 people that we want to send it to, or maybe we want to send it to everyone, but you want to exclude. You could do that as well. So it's really up to you how you want to combine your lists, things like that. Maybe you want to send it to everyone except for people who have family portrait albums, things like that. So things to think about when you're putting your list together. You want to make sure that they're structured, and you can add them in specific places. Another place that you can add them to is obviously going to be the forms. So if anyone is contacting you through the contact form, you can have a tag directly here that just says contact page. That way it's very broad and direct here. Maybe on that page that we saw earlier that we built, if you want to add a form directly back to here for like questionnaire, you can add a questionnaire section. That is going to be a form for that. So we'll add a form here. We'll go ahead and create a new one. We'll put it in my contact forms. We'll create a new one. We'll keep it simple because this is just a simple contact form. And we're just going to name this one Seniors Session Contact. So if anyone fills this out, they'll get that tag. So you can see how you can create these lists manually, but also keep them automated. And this is really going to help down the line as your list grows, because then you know how to curate content for them, especially if there's different types of photography styles that you do for them, and also how to purge like outdated stuff. So maybe you want to put 2025, and then next year you want to change this to this tag. You want to say a different one. You could remove this one or add another one. So right now we'll just say 2025 gets added to anyone that fills it out, and that'll be added. So you get multiple tags. You can add multiple tags to any type of thing. But maybe down the line it's 2026. Remove that 2025. Now add 2026. And there you go. So it just keeps populating to the customers who fill out the forms. So you have that. This is going to help with your marketing down the line for direct marketing, to also helping with the funnels and not exhausting your leads list, which is very, very important, because the more emails you send to a list, the more likely they are to unsubscribe or just don't open. So when an email sends, you're going to get tracking data for all that stuff. So you want to keep up with that. The way you can look at it is, say we send this email out. I'm just going to send it out to someone custom. I'm just going to send it out to myself. And you can also just do it right here if they're not on the list yet, and then it'll go directly to them. Boom. Once it sends, you'll be able to track data. Hit run search. You'll be able to see email campaigns, email automations, unsubscribe, bounce, and pop-ups. And this is very important to see how well your emails are doing. This type of information will help you steer the type of content that you create, but also what are people actually engaging with? That's the most important part. Are they engaging with like new content? Are they engaging with sales? That's what you want to know, so you know how to curate the right type of emails to those clients. Okay, so now that we've got the email campaign portion figured out, we're going to look at pop-ups. Now, why are pop-ups and sticky banners important? Because they are a on-site marketing feature. So we have that landing page, but that landing page might not be visible to anyone else right now. So we'll go over to that landing page. We'll see its settings. You can see it's set to visible, but let's set it to hidden because we don't want anyone off the street to be able to get to it. We only want to use it in ads or social media posts. So now, to get to that page, how do you get them hooked on there? Because we don't want this to like be up in the top menu. It might get too busy up there if this is existing. So let's take a look at what we got now. So you could have that right here. You have all these booking, and we just want to keep our traditional booking there. But if I was to turn that on, if I was able to enable it, let's see. You could keep it on the website this way, but maybe you have multiple session types out there. You don't want to make it cluttered, right? So if we go back, you can see we have our senior session here. But eventually, you're going to run out of space. So let's keep it hidden for our strategies that we're implementing, because you could have so many different types of landing page experiences that are dedicated to different audience types that you might not want to be seen on the front end. So those are some things that you want to measure when it comes to it, like especially if you're like an educator, you might have specific landing page types that you only want visible to photographers but not on the front end, because it might sway your customers to walk away. So just think about that. Okay, so let's go back over. We're going to hide that page again. Go to our settings, hit hidden. All right, that page is hidden. Okay, because we want to keep this a funnel where once they get there, there's nothing for them to click away on. So things that you can do on your normal website pages. Say they come here, come to your home page. Okay, I'm looking around. Yeah, this looks great. So we're going to keep it like that. But for our marketing, we'll go over, we'll create a new pop-up. You'll see you have promotional bars available or traditional pop-ups. When it comes to the pop-ups, you can do promotions, 10% off, thank yous, updates for subscriptions, anything like that, anything that you're looking to do. Let's just keep it easy and do a traditional 20% off coupon. And I like this because it already has like a senior look to it. I'm just going to modify its colors so it matches everything. So we'll have this, we'll just keep this copy here for now. You can go through your images. You can then select a different image if you like. You can add a form here, which is what we're going to want to do. We're going to want to add like a newsletter subscription, and we'll need to modify that form to give them a coupon code or something like that. So we'll go ahead and save changes now. You can see how long it is. I don't want it to be that long for the news, so we're just going to remove this text. We're going to add a tag for newsletter sign up 2025. That way we know who's who, and it's there. Save changes. And then we'll want to create something like a coupon code. So the way we can create a coupon code is we'll go over to our e-commerce. We'll go over to coupons. From the payment option, we'll create a coupon. We're just going to take 20% off order. So we're just going to do that. And we're going to give them a discount code of 20 now. How about that? 20% off. And we'll give them max number of uses. You can set all this up. So we're going to start the start date now. Maybe we're going to run this all year long. So you can do that. There we go. Create coupon. So there you go. So now it's available. You can see how many times it'll be used, anything like that. So we know 20 now. And how do we build this into our form? So we're going to go click on forms again. You can see here, click on this gear icon, click on settings. So once someone fills this out, you can create multiple types of experiences. Now you could have an email notification sent to you. You can have an email notification sent to them. So we're going to say yes. Once they thank you for contacting us, here's your coupon. You can have something like that. And then we can put the coupon code, it's 20 now. All right, so you could have something simple, generic like that, right? You can have a expiration date, anything like that you want to put in here. You can have a custom confirmation page. Now, how those work is, say they fill out this form and you want them to go and land on something. This is great if you're creating like a pricing page experience or anything like that, just to keep the funnel going, right? So we can go back to our website builder. We'll just create something real quick so it can lead them to a specific page type. Maybe it's where all your products are. You could have something like that. Or maybe it's something else altogether, like a sending them to your social media or a landing page experience. It's really up to you what you want it to do. I'm just going to send it to the landing page. And what's great here is you can have like different opportunities where it leads them to next. So I'm just going to have this. We're just going to copy this. And we would make this like landing page. Maybe it's an experience, like choose which type of experience you want, just customize it however you want to. But that way you can see the results. So we'll go back to our form. We'll custom confirmation. There we go. It's filled out, ready to go. Next, we are going to make sure that this is all active. So we're going to go back to our marketing. We're going to make sure that this is properly working. So everything looks pretty good. Let me just modify the colors a touch. Go back here, kind of using like some yellow tones and things like that. So let's just kind of play into that a little bit. And then for a form background color, we're just going to keep it somewhere in between there. How about that? Let's just hit save, see what happens. There we go. Looking pretty cool. And so you can modify it, change the font type, however you want. Then click on settings, and this is where it becomes really important. This is where it's going to set up how it triggers. The trigger is important because it makes it display specifically how you want to. So in the builder on your website, do you want it to display on all pages or a specific page? Maybe we only want this coupon to pop up only on the seniors page. We could do that. So I'm going to set it up that way so you can see how it triggers. You can also display things in client gallery. So maybe you have a coupon code that displays then. You can set that up, or if you want to have like a demo walkthrough of how to purchase from it, you can have that set up here as well. When to show is very vital because some people set things to 0 and immediately they get the pop-up. People are kind of programmed to click away from pop-ups right away, so make it feel like a reward when it gets there. That's very, very important. So I would recommend between 10 to 30 seconds for any page, and I'm just going to set it up to 10 seconds so you can see how long 10 seconds is when we go to that page. And then the frequency. You can see how, how often it will display to that user. So only once ever, every day. So if they come back every single day, it'll display once. Every 7 days, once a week, or every month. So you can set up the trigger however you want to. I'm going to set it up for every day. We're just going to test it out, save changes, and then we're going to hit publish. And we want this to run, well, just, we'll keep it on run for a year. How about that? Okay. Save changes. Now this is ready to go. Now let's go back to our home page. And, We don't have it set up to trigger here, so you can have multiple pop-ups throughout your website and however you want them to trigger. You can also set up how it is displayed when it pops up. So right now it'll just take a full screen. But you can see there's other things like styling options. You can have it where it pops up from the side. If there's overlay color, that means the screen darkens a little bit, which I recommend. But I'm going to save this and let's see what happens. So, you know, they're cruising around like, oh, I want to know more. Let's go to our seniors. So we set it up to trigger at 10 seconds. So if a user's going through the gallery, viewing all the images that you have, and they're just kind of like, huh, you can see 10 seconds. Here it comes. And now it feels like it's a present. So if you even have a larger gallery, maybe there's, you know, hundreds of images, once it pops up in 30 seconds, it will feel rewarding. And yeah, I want 20% off if I'm going to book with you. Even if I don't book with you, I want the coupon. And that for you is a lead that you can then email down the line. And you can see it sent us to that landing page. So we have the confirmation. It's been sent to us. They'll get that coupon code as well. And everything is set up that way. So it feels organic to what the next steps are. So this could be like, hey, thanks for the coupon code. What would you like to look at next? Would you like to book? So you can have like a whole destination set up for them, which I definitely recommend. Or say you're doing something timely, you can send them directly to the new booking page that we've created for our mini sessions. So we can edit this. We'll go back to our form. We want to change the destination. So we'll change this one here. And we'll choose our senior session page. We're going to copy the link. We're going to go back over to our form. Going to update it to go there because, hey, they could use it there if they wanted to, right? Great. Now once it's on this page, they can then go through here, select their date, time, all that, and book then. And if it has the cart option, with the cart option enabled, they'll be able to go ahead and put in the promo code. So we're going to enable it. And then we'll go back over. And then once they fill out their details, they fill it out, add the cart. Oh, well, I have that coupon. Well, this is where they can fill in and put in that coupon directly here. So 20 now. And you can see they get that discount. So however you want to build those promotions up, to build that loyalty, to get that sale, to utilize that on-site options for marketing. It's going to help relegate everything, make everything funnel in a lot faster. Now, you could do something more long-term. If you don't want to use pop-ups, I definitely recommend utilizing the sticky banners. And the reason why I say sticky banners, because they are great for not just notifications for, like, say you're going to be out of town or anything like that, but these are great for like long day events. So if you have site maintenance, first time purchases, anything like that, you can select here. So we'll just use this one since it's pretty much already ready. We're just going to modify it just a touch. Use code 20 now on anything that they purchase, right? So we're going to keep that like that. And then you can link it directly to wherever you want them to go. So if we wanted to send them to a booking page, anything like that, we're just going to send them to that landing page again. And if you want to add buttons to the banner itself, that way they know it's clickable, you could have that ready to go. There we go. And then again, of course, you can modify if it displays at the top or bottom. I recommend at the bottom, that way it doesn't take away from anything at the top of the page, such as your menu items. But if you really want to get something right in front of people's face, that's the perfect place to do it. So I'm just going to set it to bottom. I'm just going to modify the color just a touch. Make it more of our yellow. Perfect. And then I think the font is fine. We'll keep it as is, and then we're going to set up its displays. Go to its settings. We're going to have it display on all pages every day. All right, we're going to hit publish. So now when we go back over to our page, we're going to hit refresh, and there it is. It displays down at the bottom. Perfect. We're going to click on it, and it should drive us right over to that page. And they'll be able to book directly here, just like we did previously. So you can see creating these funnels is just going to really help you at the end of the day, no matter where you want to do it. If you have a sticky banner or a pop-up, however you want to display this type of content so people know to make those purchases, this is where the value comes in to the on-site marketing. All right, back to you, Jessica.
2025 is all about building genuine connections. It's about meeting your audience where they are, creating authentic content, and guiding them toward action. For photographers, this means showcasing your unique style, being relatable, and showing the value of your work. So here's your challenge. Choose one new strategy from this guide and try it this week. Whether it's optimizing your profile, experimenting with short-form videos, or crafting better CTAs, take that first step and track your results. If you have questions or need additional tips, feel free to reach